Good morning and welcome to the Morning Outlook. I'm Rachel Jones reporting live from Kalkine TV Sydney studios. Now the Australian share market is expected to open flat this morning. According to the latest ASX futures, the benchmark ASX 200 would open 1 point higher. Now today we're waiting on the Reserve Bank of Australia's monetary policy meeting. Investors will be closely tracking the official rate meeting scheduled at 2:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time after the RBA surprised the market with its 50 basis point rise to 0.85% in its last outing. Now, according to experts, the Australian Central Bank may further hike the official rate by 50 basis points to 1.35%. Now moving on to some business news from this morning, an NRW wholly owned subsidiary, Golding Contractors, has secured the rail civil construction contract for the Pembroke Olive Downs coking coal project in Queensland's Bowen Basin. The civil works is a new 19-kilometre rail loop for the new steel-making coal project, including all earthworks, drainage and construction of 2 new rail bridges. The contract is valued at around $52 million and is expected to last 40 months. In addition, Golding has also been awarded around $15 million of bulk earthworks, drainage and roadworks relating to the new CHPP at Olive Downs. Now, Firefinch has sold 28.6 million shares in Leo Lithium through a block trade executed after the market closed on Monday the 4th of July at a sale price of 45.5 cents per Leo share. The net proceeds of the trade will result in the company receiving a cash injection of $12.9 million. The remaining 210.9 million shares in the company that the company holds in Leo are subject to escrow until the 23rd of June 2024. And ResApp Health, a digital health company developing smartphone applications for the diagnosis and management of respiratory disease, the patent has been granted in Australia and Japan. Now, this patent is for methods and apparatus for cough detection in background noise environments. It covers the use of machine learning audio processing techniques for detecting cough sounds in environment with significant background noise. The technology covered by the patent is used in ResApp's smartphone-based respiratory diagnostic text, ResApp DX, and its cough counting software, ResApp CC. The patent has previously been granted in Europe. ResApp has additional patent applications covering similar subject matter pending in China, India, and the United States. Well, now it's time for a very short break, but stay tuned for more news set to affect your trading day.
Tune in to get the latest information.
Whether it's about market movements or the currency graph,
Sectoral coverage or industry news.
we cover it all on our news segments.
Be on top of the latest news
With Kalkine TV.
And welcome back to the Morning Outlook report. Now, over on Wall Street, the US stock indices were closed yesterday on account of Independence Day, the 4th of July holiday. Now, the Dow Jones futures fell 0.3%, the S&P 500 futures declined 0.4%, and Nasdaq futures fell 0.5%. Meanwhile, minutes of the Fed's June policy meeting scheduled to be released tomorrow may sound hawkish. Over in Europe, the Stoxx 50 rose 0.1%, the FTSE surged 0.4%, and the DAX fell 0.3%. MSCI's World Equity Index gained 0.38%. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside of Japan surged 0.34%. Japan's Nikkei added 0.84%. Now, oil prices inched higher on supply concerns despite looming recession fears. The prices of oil rebounded after earlier falling by $1 as data revealed lower output from the OPEC. Unrest in Libya, sanctions on Russia and a strike in Norway could hit supplies this week. Now, in June, OPEC's output declined 100,000 barrels per day to 28.52 million barrels per day, down from their pledged rise of almost 275,000 BPD. Brent crude rose 1.25% to $113.02. WTI surged 1.2% to $109.76 per barrel. Gold prices rose yesterday on account of a softened US dollar. The price of gold fell 0.15% to $1,808 an ounce. Well, that's all for our Morning Outlook report here on Kalkine TV. Have a great day trading. Stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.